but Jalen Rose gets the tip in, and Michigan wins it 79-78, the Tar Heels' only loss of the season. They come in tonight 16-1, number 3 in the country, 5-0 in the ACC. Duke losing to Florida State, the Seminoles' biggest win of the year on Sunday. Sam Cassell to Byron Wells, the 3 in overtime to win it, their biggest victory in 21 years. So at 13-5, they come into Chapel Hill tonight, 5-1 in the ACC, number 2 in the conference, and number 19 in the country. And tonight, the Seminoles run headlong into North Carolina here at the Smith Center in Chapel Hill. It is as loud as I have ever heard it here. Mike Patrick along with Dick Vitale, great to have you with us. FSU coming off that huge win over Duke. They have won 5 in a row, and no coincidence, Dick, that it's since Charlie Ward has come back as the starting point guard.
Well, you talk about a big-time leader, a catalyst, a guy that makes things happen, Mike. It's certainly Charlie Ward, the super football player. What a game he had against Duke on Sunday. Watch him right here with the big comeback at the end. Now he's going to make like a driving, slashing. He makes like a halfback. Look at him go to the goal with a big three-point play. Now watch him defensively. He's going to make a strip late in the game. Duke can win at the end of this game, but Charlie says no. He's like a linebacker diving for the loose ball. And now in the overtime, Duke is down 1. They try to throw the miracle pass like against Kentucky. The interception, Mr. Ward. I'll tell you what, he better play defense, Bobby Bowden, and let him earn his scholarship.
This may be the best North Carolina team since Dean Smith won the NCAA championship in 1982. Talented, deep, and quick.
Well, they really are. I think there are 3 elements that make them so special. The great size they possess. You're right, Mike. They are so deep, and they are talented. And let me tell you about defense. They are really being sensational with the traps. Look against Seton Hall right now. They fan you, bring you to the sideline. They force the turnover. They strip the offense. Now we see the same area again. They bring you into a trapping area, force the turnover again. And now in the middle of the floor, out of a run and jump, there's the strip. They convert. They go to the other end. I'll tell you one thing, Mike. This is no wine and cheese crowd tonight, baby. Like Sammy Cassell said.
This may be Dean Smith year. It looks like Carolina has assembled all the pieces in the puzzle. We'll have the starting lineups in a moment. 572 fans for the K-Swiss. Starting lineup for the Seminoles. Doug Edwards, their leading rebounder, number 2 scorer. He'll have to have a big night and yet remain out of foul trouble against the deep line. Pat Kennedy has been able to overcome key injuries with his club to move them into second place in the conference this year. For Carolina, George Lynch finally putting up the kind of numbers predicted for him when he signed. He's the leading scorer and rebounder. And Dean Smith, in his 32nd year, just one of his remarkable achievements, his club has made the Sweet 16 the last 12 years. Now, some people get it once in their career and they're thrilled.
What an unbelievable run. I alluded to the wine and cheese crowd. That was the headline because Sammy Cassell said playing here was like playing in front of a crowd, sitting, having their wine and cheese, and some people have brought some cheese here for Mr. Cassell.
Change in the lineup. Phelps and Reese will sit out a couple of minutes at the start of the game. They were 2 minutes late for a team meal, so they do not start. Sullivan and Cherry will start in their place, and we have a foul underneath early. It's going to be on Henrik Rodel, his first.
We take a look at Reese sitting on a sideline. He will not be a member of the All-Pine team long, and either will be Mr. Phelps. You can guarantee both guys will be on the floor after maybe 1 or 2 rotations, late for a team meeting.
Bobby Sura for 3. The rebound goes to George Lynch.
Bobby's a very streaky shooter. Oh, look at a change defensively in terms of what they've been playing man-to-man in their recent games. They're playing a little zone right now, 2-3.
Rodel with a cross-court pass to Cherry. This is Lynch. Ball footer won't go, but there's Montross. Missed the tip, but he had it knocked away by Edwards.
He brought it down, came down slow with it, and Edwards was able to get a piece of it.
Charlie Ward to Cassell, back to Ward. These guys are so good together. Edwards, the power guy inside. Missed the shot. Rodel with a rebound.
Edwards can become the big player here tonight. He has to have a solid performance.
Carolina on the run. Montross with the follow-up and missed by Lynch.
Florida State very slow in transition right there, Mike. Really slow getting back. You see him trying to invite him into a trap.
going to be tough to trap Ward. Rodney Dobard with a jump shot, no good, and Scott Cherry with a rebound. Cherry, the seldom used 6'5" senior.
It's almost like senior day. They're starting out with the seniors.
Tell you what, this team has gotten quicker as a team in a year. I don't know how you improve team quickness, but Montross is a perfect example. He's a totally different player.
Well, Donald Williams off the bench as well. See, I think right now Pat Kennedy should go to man-to-man and really come after Cherry. His game plan obviously was to start with a zone, but I think he really would be better coming out and putting a little pressure on the inexperience that's in the perimeter now for Carolina.
Sullivan had an air ball, but Cherry with a great save. Montross can't control the pass.
Give it up. This guy can score.
Cassell, great body control, and he scores.
Out of Dunbar High School, went to Maine Central Institute, San Jacinto Junior College. A little bit older than most people here. He's 23 years old.
Cherry throws the pass away.
What a leader. What a big-time leader. Vice president of the junior class right here with the basketball.
Dobard, and he is fouled by Montross.
If Dobard plays within himself, Mike, stays about 6-7 feet away from the basket offensively, blocks some shots, he's a dominating shot blocker, and there's the tandem from out of the Big Apple, New York City.
Reese 31, Phelps 14. Phelps may be the best defensive player in the country.
I really believe on the perimeter, he and Chris Reynolds from out of Indiana put pressure on the basketball as well as anyone that I've ever seen. In fact, both guys would be great defensive backs in football.
Dobard goes to the line, 66% shooter on the year, averages 10 points a game. Great shot block.
They list him at 6'9", but he's the all-time record breaker in shot blocking for Pat Kennedy and Florida State. What a job he's done in Seminole land, averaging 20 wins a year in his 12 years as a head coach, 6 at Iona and 6 here, going on his 7th year at Florida State.
Dobard misses them both. We're still tied at 2. Carolina pushes it up. Rodel passes up a wide-open 12-footer. Montross powers it inside.
That's the one dimension they possess, the big low post dominator inside, where most colleges today do not have a big true center. Great asset to possess.
Cassell working on Rodel, who's a good defensive player. Nearly threw it away. Ward
getting a little better rhythm offensively. Don't want too much one-on-one.
Sure, a nice move to get by Lynch, and a great dish. Cassell had it blocked by Rodel. Edwards with a follow. Edwards got Dobard over the rim.
They wave it off.
Dobard had his hand in the cylinder.
Waved off by Lenny Wirtz. Edwards had a great game against Duke. 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Montross by Edwards. He doesn't get the bucket, but Edwards will pick up the foul. And to me, that is a key in this game. He fouled out of the Duke game.
I'll tell you another key in this game. The fact that Florida State does not have Andre Reed, the 7-footer, to body up and use his body inside against Montross. I think they're going to have a real tough time trying to defend him down and deep.
If FSU had Andre Reed and Chuck Graham, a guard who averaged 13 points a year ago, how good would they be?
Top 5 in the nation. Chuck Graham last year, to show you how good he is, coming off the bench, had 19 against Carolina in the game when they beat him here in their first ACC game, and then came back with 24 in the second meeting when they blew him out in Tallahassee.
Montross makes 1 of 2, and it is 5-2 Carolina.
Let's see here. Phelps matched up with Charlie Ward. You're talking about 2 great defensive players playing head-to-head.
Sura fakes the 3. Bad pass picked off by Lynch. Excellent anticipation on his part. But they missed the 3-on-1 opportunity. Florida State back the other way.
Right now they're going to settle down and get a good shot. Run some screens. Get Edwards involved.
Edwards with the 3.
They got him involved.
That's only his 4th three-pointer this year. It ties it as 5. George Lynch, who made that last play, the number 3 steal leader in the history of North Carolina basketball. Reese with a long miss. Here's Sura.
Oh, that's a super hands. He's a tough competitor. He reminds me so much of John Barry, who played at Georgia Tech.
But he has more physical ability than John Barry. 7-5. Florida State. Rodel left all alone. That's his shot, but he missed. And Montross over the back. That's his second.
Second basket on Montross could be big, except that North Carolina is the one team that can bring in some size in Kevin Salvadori.
And Matt Wenstrom, another 7-footer behind him. We've got a timeout at 7-5. Florida State by 2 over North Carolina. 15:44 to go in the first half. The dilemma for Florida State has also been faced by Georgia Tech and Virginia. First they beat Duke, then they come to North Carolina and lose. Virginia beats Duke, they come to North Carolina and lose. Then Florida State beats Duke, they come to North Carolina tonight. Everybody swears it's just a coincidence, but you would be tough to try to convince everybody outside of Chapel Hill that it's a coincidence.
I think it's a great edge for North Carolina in many ways. Certainly emotionally, they get a club here, a little satisfied after beating Duke, and now you play them on your own floor. Great advantage, just like with the Virginia situation in Georgia Tech.
Cassell so calm and cool as his ward. Great pass to Edwards. Edwards goes in, and he is fouled by Montross. That's 3 fouls in the first 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
That's a tremendous break for Pat Kennedy to be able to get him in foul trouble that early, even though they could come off the bench with Salvadori. Michelangelo's got to be a little concerned. They enter the ball inside. There's the rotation. He uses his body really well to force the contact by Montross. Great job by Edwards.
So Montross has to sit down, and Kevin Salvadori, the 7-foot junior out of Pittsburgh, comes in. The difference between him, he's an excellent shot blocker, but unlike Montross, he doesn't have the physical power inside.
I'll tell you one thing, he played brilliantly along with Eric in that win over Duke here last year. Salvadori came off the bench, was very positive, and had a big game in the win over Virginia, giving Cavaliers their first loss.
Edwards hits them both, biggest lead at 9-5. Rodel stays in the game. We have not seen Donald Williams yet, the great shooter. He throws it away. Cassell brings it down. Air ball for Cassell. Sura gets the offensive rebound. Edwards, another one. Hits the underside of the bucket, and we're going to have a foul against North Carolina. Bobby Sura with a big rebound underneath, and then Edwards did the same thing.
They're really having a lot of fun. They really believe they can win. Today at practice, they were very loose. In fact, Sammy Cassell with a little air ball. He said, let's tip it off right now. I'm ready. There's Bob Sura from out of Wilkes-Barre. They're very active inside. That means they're ready to play. One of the reasons, or one of the elements we talk about being ready to play aggressive basketball is offensive rebound.
This is a very athletic basketball team. Edwards, when he came out of high school, was considered one of the top 3 recruits. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Anderson, the other 2.
Davies right up there in that big class. Free throw shooting, though, has been disastrous. In fact, all over the nation right now, the free throw shooting is down to a composite of 66%. Unbelievable. Last year was 68%.
Rodel nearly caught in the trap, gets it to Phelps. Lynch, nice head fake by Lynch, but he's blocked by Dobart. Then he missed the shot. Here's Edwards. FSU trying to run.
Sura with that no-look pass, tried to make the spectacular play. It wasn't
too
there.
Fancy. Phelps
very
can't
sloppy.
Get the pass. Bad throw by Salvador.
3-on-2. Got the wide open wing shot.
Sura for 3.
Good play by Sammy Cassell. Under control. Kicks it to the wing, and they worked on that. Look at the steal right here.
Charlie Ward missed the 3. That would have been huge. That would have made it 16-5. Rodel with Edwards back. Blocked by Dobart.
Dobart had the great angle with the left hand.
Cassell, great.
Oh, Dobart with the shot block on one side of the floor. He says, I love it. What a great play. Makes the shot block and comes back down and converts.
Florida State is taking it to North Carolina. This is the way they have played during that 5-game win streak.
They're in that 2-3 zone.
Rodel has had 3 wide open shots. You can't pass those up, and you have to wonder where Williams is.
He's going to get ready to come in. They need Donald Williams' jump shot against the gaps in his zone. The wings are wide open. You can get all kinds of jump shots in the wings.
Cross court to Rodel. Blocked again, that time by Dobart. He has 3 already.
I think they're going to start thinking every time they get the ball inside, Mike, where is Mr. Dobart? Watch Dobart now rotate over with the left hand, and then he goes in transition, and he's going to finalize. He says, I blocked it, Sammy. Give it back to me. A little slam jam by Mr. Dobart.
Reese comes out. Sullivan is in. Florida State on a 13-0 run. Salvadori went high to get it, then he lost it. And they've got a foul on Edwards or Dobar. Let's see who. It's on Dobar. It's his first. With Andre Reed gone for the season with that hand injury, there's very little depth up front. Byron Wells would be the sub that Pat Kennedy would go to on the front line.
Well, Maurice Robinson also. Byron Wells was the guy to hit that jumper to beat Duke, that unbelievable shot at the buzzer in that OT game. Pat Kennedy's got him really ready to play. I mean, at practice today, you could just feel it.
Salvadori goes to the free throw line, 69% shooter.
He was a late recruit. His dad played at South Carolina under Frank McGuire, and it was a late recruiting entry for Dean Smith, because when you talk about him out of high school, he wasn't ready for this level. He has worked like you can't believe to become a player for this level.
Missed both free throws, and Dobart, who's been a tremendous force underneath, has another rebound.
Sammy Cassell loves this kind of competition. In fact, he wants the trap. Trap comes to him, kicks it to the wing.
Edwards misses the three. Look at Ward. That's the quickness. He has 33 assists and 8 turnovers since he's come back.
That's a great assist-to-turnover ratio.
Sura!
And there's another assist. They got 3 really solid perimeter players when you talk Ward, Sura, and Cassell. And they're not intimidated. Those kids want to take the ball right to the rack.
North Carolina has been outscored 14-2. They haven't had a bucket since 17:25 on the clock. That's their first field goal in 5 minutes.
And they rotated into a special defense right there, Florida State. They were playing Charlie Ward head-to-head everywhere Phelps was going on the floor. And they were playing a man-to-man with a 1-3 zone.
Sura gets away from Sullivan, dishes to Edwards, and he's clobbered. Offensive foul.
Gonna break right there.
Whoa.
Florida State doing a super job with dribble penetration, beating them one-on-one. Pat Kennedy's game plan, shut down Phelps. They don't want Phelps to penetrate. They feel he's their only ball handler. So what they're gonna do is play Charlie Ward base. Now they rotate. Now Ward's chasing Donald Williams, the shooter. Look at this. I mean, this guy's got all kinds of gimmicks. He learned from Valvano.
12 minutes, 10 seconds to go, first half. Salvadori comes out high.
See Charlie Ward? He's chasing Williams.
Sullivan from the lane.
What he's doing there, he's taking their three-point shooter out of the game. He's saying, I'm going to put Charlie Ward right in your face, and you're not going to get the good look at the basket.
Reach-in foul by Sullivan.
See right here. See how he chases it? Freeze it right here. Freeze it. See right here. We freeze it. Here is the offensive player, defensive player. He will go with him everywhere he goes on the floor. He's been assigned. There he is. He goes with him everywhere he goes. It's going to be tough for Williams to get some shots unless they set some screens for him.
Well, we know they're good at that.
They don't look sharp tonight, though, Mike.
No, they don't. I think they're being out-quicked, and here's an example. Edwards!
Oh,
Domar, what a play!
I mean, are you kidding me? Charlie Ward with the touchdown pass!
40-yard touchdown strike to Dobar.
He's going to get ready for that Heisman next year. He or Tyrone Wheatley or Polk from San Diego State.
In the lane, Reese knocked down. Almost got it back. Here's a bullet pass to Sura from Dobar, who's had a huge night. Cassell for 3.
They got the crowd really quiet right now.
Sura! Edwards! And we've got a foul underneath. Man, oh man, is Florida State playing above the rim.
I don't know how to put this any more blunt. It is absolutely a whipping being put on North Carolina right now. Charlie Ward, watch him right over here, the quarterback, right here. You watch this right now. There he is. Look at him. I mean, can he throw it? Bobby Bowden. I mean, are you kidding me, Big Bobby? There's Obar.
19-7, and there are the Heisman candidates for next year. Charlie Ward, one of the top ones.
First 8 minutes, it has been clear domination. As you look there at some of the Heisman favorites for next year, Braves certainly a great one up in Syracuse. But I like the Wheatley kid. I think he's going to be phenomenal next year.
I like Marshall Falk. I think he can get 5,000 yards.
Yeah, but he just doesn't play enough. Last year he got hurt, or he would have had that.
11:29 to go in the first half. Number 19 FSU with its biggest lead of the night. This has been surgery without the benefit of anesthetic. 21-7. Florida State is slicing up North Carolina. The Tar Heels are shooting 17%.
They're really not getting great spacing. Wide open wing shots. You got to make those count.
Reese with an absolute brick from the wing. Cassell had it knocked away by Lynch. Williams.
They have to get some transition layups and beat that defense before it gets a line.
Matt Wenstrom, the third 7-footer, number 55, is in there.
How much of an offensive player?
Reese, nice dish to Lynch, had it knocked away by Byron Wells, and he'll pick up the foul.
This is the 1-3-1. See this right here? 3 guys lined up, and here is the chaser. Chase it here. But they have 3 guys along the baseline, 1 guy up on top. And notice how Charlie Ward is chasing Donald Williams, their perimeter outstanding shooter. And they get the turnover, rotate, double up on Salvador.
Lynch will go to the free throw line. He is 0 for 3 from the floor. Reese is 0 for 5. Rodel has missed 2 shots. Sullivan has missed 2 shots. This is very atypical for Carolina.
The guy that really would have been a factor early in this game, you can see it early, the way he was getting post position inside, was Eric Montross. That was a tremendous luxury for Pat Kennedy that he went out with those 3 fouls. They have to make something happen defensively with their traps. The question is, are they good enough to trap the perimeter people of Florida State?
Particularly Charlie Ward, who's going to keep it in his hand as often as possible. They're trying right now.
There comes a trap. They get the turnover. And that's where they like to really apply the pressure. Bring you and fan you to the sideline and get you in a trapping area, just like they did right here. Freeze it. See right here. His back, as you notice, and here comes a defensive player rotating over.
And Derek Phelps, I think, got away with one at that point. And Pat Kennedy let the official know it.
Wide open jump shots on the wing will be there all night.
Reese with a follow on the Williams miss. And Reese and Carolina finally get something inside.
They finally get a little spurt going.
21-11 as we approach 10 minutes.
I see a little more intensity in her eyes. I think they've really got the wake-up call. They were a little passive early in this game.
Almost the steal. Great diving try by Phelps.
Crowd really getting alive now, Mike. There's the trap. Got to stay 1 step behind the trap.
Steal by Lynch. Ward trying to get it back from him. Got a hand on it out to Carolina.
There's the deflection. A lot of teams chart deflections, especially Kentucky with Rick Pitino. They really believe in that. It's a sign of playing aggressive basketball. See, here comes the trap. Now you have to stay 1 step behind the alignment. He tried to throw the diagonal pass for the layup. You want to bring the ball away from the trap.
Reese to Phelps, trying to run Williams around some screens.
See, Sammy Cassell now's playing head-to-head on Williams right now. See, they're rotating now. Cassell's playing up. Oh, I see they're playing the guards man-to-man. Now here's Ward playing against Phelps.
Alley-oop to Reese, not a good pass by Phelps, and here comes Sura. It's a 1-on-3, and Sura is knocked to the floor. The ball goes out of bounds, no call.
I can't believe it was no call right there. Bob Sura, though, has to really work on defining what a good shot is. He has a tendency at times to take some bad shots, and it frustrates the interior people like Edwards and Dobar.
Well, he's got that shooter's mentality. If I've got a shot, it's a good one.
There's no doubt about it. Man-to-man defense right now by North Carolina. He's putting a lot of pressure.
That was Derek Carroll who's into the ballgame for the first time, and Wells has the ball stolen by Lynch.
Last 3 possessions, they have struggled, Florida State.
George Lynch on the verge of becoming the #1 all-time steal leader. Here is Cassell. Great control. Missed the shot. The tip won't go. Lynch back the other way.
Really tried to make an impossible shot right there.
Phelps drives on Wells. Cut off.
The one wrap on Phelps is the perimeter jump shot. He can shoot it.
Williams left alone but missed. Salvador kept it alive, but here come the Seminoles again. Sura. Air ball.
Nobody in rebounding position. Edwards goes over, slaps him 5, says, that's okay, Bobby. What a story he has become. The rookie of the year, came out of Wilkes-Barre. A lot of people didn't think he could play at this level.
Oh, he not only played at this level, he was the rookie of the year in the league. Wenstrom comes back in. Lynch will get a breather. Keep in mind, it is very hot in here tonight. And North Carolina with the advantage in depth, that is to their advantage. Surra for three, misses again. Florida State letting Carolina off the hook a little bit here. Look at Rodel. Passed up the open shot, now takes it and missed.
I'd like to have some of those wide open jumpers. You know who could become a key player? He's on a bench. Dante Calabria. He's a great shooter, a freshman for North Carolina.
Williams got the shot and buried it. 21-13.
If he gets the open look, he'll knock that down. He's an outstanding sixth man, one of the best in basketball, along with Woodbury from out of Kansas, Brewer from Louisville.
Gasol gets it to Edwards. Edwards forced that one a little bit and got it anyway.
Nice one-on-one maneuver, though.
Edwards has 8.
Salvadori not quick enough to check him.
Salvadori can't get it. Wenstrom follows, so he's got the Twin Towers in there with Montross on the bench with the 3 fouls.
Wenstrom doesn't get a whole lot of playing time.
That's Dante Calabria, who may see some action.
He can really stroke the ball. He could be a key player.
Cassell to Surra on the drive and wedges it against the basket. That's a jump ball situation, and the possession arrow gives it to Carolina.
I'll tell you one thing about Surra. He's not afraid to take the ball to the goal.
He got a wedgie. 7:07 to go first half, an 8-point lead.
Despite what you've seen in
14-point lead to 8 here at the Smith Center in Chapel Hill.
14-point deficit. As we look at Kennedy right now, Mike, Kennedy for the last 6 years, NCAA tournament. The nemesis for him has been Indiana. Beat him last year in the Sweet 16. Beat him the year before in the NCAAs, and this year beat him in the NIT semifinal.
He's got to find a way not to play those guys.
He's got to stay away from the Hoosiers.
But he's had fun playing North Carolina.
There's that 2-3 zone. What seams and caps?
Wenstrom on the alley-oop from Phelps. And they're taking advantage of it now.
Any kind of productivity they got out of Wenstrom is really a plus. Look at him play pressure on the basketball.
10-2 run for North Carolina.
Phelps just loves defense, number 14.
Edwards under pressure, missed the shot. Lynch with another rebound. That's 5 off the boards for George Lynch. He also has 4 steals.
He's a big-time rebounder, especially on the offensive floor. Hey, Wenstrom! He's saying, get me some PT, Dean Smith. I need some PT.
He has 6 tonight. He averages 2.8 points as the 3rd center on this clock. The lead is cut to 4. Dobart from Edwards.
Nice look. Great pass by Edwards. He spots Dobart. They got to take the ball inside against Salvadori and against Wenstrom and utilize the quickness inside of Edwards and also Dobart.
Sullivan kicks it to Rodel.
Watch the wings. If you drive the ball at the point, wide open for Rodel.
Sullivan had it blocked. They got it back inside. Wenstrom scored and he's fouled.
This is the best I've ever seen Matt Wenstrom. How would you like to have this guy in the limited minutes that he plays? They like it here in Chapel Hill. What a record Bill Dean has achieved when you think about Sweet 16s, 12 consecutive years. There's the drive down the lane. Now watch Rodel. Freeze it. See, look right here. This is open. Look at this gap area here. Rotate him in here. It's wide open. The wings are wide open. That 2-3 has got big, big holes in it.
Wenstrom with 8 points, 3 rebounds. The last foul was on Dobart, his 2nd.
This is a career night for him. I mean, this is incredible. In a big-time game.
Marvelous performance so far. Missed the free throw. The lead is at 4. 5 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the half.
Remember this, if North Carolina wins this game, it could be Wake Forest. They got a great shot to be number 1. They'd be my number 1.
Dobart with a move to get free. Follow shot won't go for Robinson. Robinson again with a soft touch and got it.
He's going to eventually be a very good player, very physical. Won the state championship at Arkansas at Little Rock. Beat Corliss Williamson, the superstar from down at Arkansas, the diaper dandy.
6'6" freshman, 235 pounds with that big body.
It's great to see Williamson back in action after a foot injury.
Williams, guarded by Ward, kicks it back to Phelps. Lead back at 6.
Playing that gimmick defense, you get a lot of wide open shots.
Wenstrom misses this one. And Dobard has just been a force on the boards.
He's very active. He's got the long arms, good timing.
Florida State normally does not get scoring off his bench, and Carolina, with such a defense, gets a lot. Ward out of bounds. Phelps creates the turnover.
That's his strength. Make things happen on the defensive end. He was a super in New York City. There's a cheerleader tonight, Eric Montross. Look at this matchup right here. Phelps says, you may be a great football player, but I'm getting on this. Ward says, no, it's mine. He looks like a, wow, he's playing football, diving for loose balls, giving up skin. Don't get hurt, Charlie. Bobby Bowden's nervous. He's sitting in his living room.
The 9th Florida State turnover. Carolina trying to cut into a 6-point lead. There is Calabria.
He can shoot the ball. Calabria can shoot the ball if he gets the good look.
Salvadori barely holds on to it.
This is the poorest I have ever seen North Carolina execute their half-court offense.
Salvadori with the follow, 27-23.
Told me he would have went to North Carolina State to play for Jim Valvano, but he really felt that Jimmy V would not be there, and that's why he decided to go to play for Dean Smith.
Cassell for 3. Really hasn't had an offensive night for this club. Edwards with a follow. Tipped in by Robinson.
Robinson, nobody blocks out. He gets the good seam to the goal. See, the scouting report probably didn't mention the name Robinson as being a factor.
Lynch guns one over the head of Reese. The turnover for Carolina. The lead is 6. When we come back, FSU will have the ball. They tell you you are in Krzyzewskiville. They're back. Hand and foot warmers are for sale. Accommodations seem to be okay. For 10 days, they've been waiting. There's still a week to go. Next Wednesday, North Carolina goes to Cameron Indoor to face Duke. 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope you'll join us. It is always a special, special game.
Wow, I can't wait to be there. And remember this, North Carolina could come in there number 1 in the nation with Kansas getting beat by Long Beach State. And that real shocker, Indiana certainly could move up. It'll be either Indiana or North Carolina. If North Carolina wins both this week, I would go with North Carolina. Only 1 loss versus 2, and that tip-in against Michigan's their only losses. You look at Eric Montross.
Florida State has a 4-point advantage with him out of the ball game. They lead by 6 overall. Here's Cassell backing out of the trap.
That's been a great asset this year, North Carolina. Defensive pressure, forcing a lot of turnovers.
But they have not played Cassell and Ward, and they've done a great job against them. Robinson got it, and he's fouled.
I can see why they like Robinson. He is really a very strong player. He's got good physical stature. Pat Kennedy very high on him. Thinks he'll be a really outstanding player in the future. And then they got a great recruit. Remember this name, Sir James Collins from out of Jacksonville.
Always remember anybody named Sir.
Scored 50, I call him Sir, 55 points the other day in high school.
Robinson trying to complete the 3-point play and does. 32-23.
What surprise performance tonight. Wenstrom on one side for North Carolina and Robinson on the other.
Salvadori with a jump hook.
Nice to have guys like Wenstrom and Salvadori to rotate into your 3-2 setup along the boxes inside. 2 7-footers.
Well, Salvadori has 6. Wenstrom has 8 points. Montross has 6. But Montross has been out since the 15-22 mark. Loose ball. Who comes up with it? Florida State. Dobard scores again.
Dobard really too quick around the basket for their big people.
Calabria back the other way. Stolen by Sura.
Oh, I don't want a showtime there and miss that, baby.
I think he just lost control. Dick got it back. 36-25. Florida State opens up some breathing room again.
Bobby Sura's got a nose for the basket. Knows how to score. See right now they're chasing all over the floor. Number 21.
Roto left all alone. He hasn't been able to hit one tonight. He can't hit that one.
He's getting wide open shots. And the book on him when he came out of high school was great shooter.
Look at the pass by Cassell. Sura explodes to the basket. Missed it. Got it back. Edwards. Oh, that's awesome underneath.
They are out hustling him and out scrapping him up on a glass. Just much more aggressive. Better legs.
38-25. Calabria, line drive, rims out on him. Here comes Dobar.
Center to basketball.
Dobar, great body control.
I like the way he runs the court. He's got superb quickness, an excellent transition player from the defensive end to the offensive end.
Dobar has 10. This is the biggest lead of the night, 40-25 for FSU.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. No fluke. Not when you beat them last year wire to wire here without Doug Edwards, and you beat them big time at Tallahassee.
Calabria left alone, doesn't take the shot. Well, people are going to look and say, hey, these guys have lost 5 games as Roto scores. But the games they lost were when Charlie Ward was still playing football. The first game back they lost to Virginia, but he didn't start in that game. Since he has been starting, they are unbeaten.
They have not been able to have their full complement of players.
Exactly.
As we talked about Chuck Graham, what a player. Andre Reed, certainly a role player, 7-footer.
Cassell with a long miss. Here comes Lynch 2 on 2.
He has really been quiet.
That is the 3rd foul on Edwards with 53 seconds to go in the half. Not a good foul by Doug Edwards. Our Delta Faucet halftime report coming up. Chris Fowler and Jim Valvano standing by as Indiana fights for the #1 spot in the country, as does Carolina. Seton Hall and Georgetown, highlights of that ball game. Pat Kennedy, of course, was an assistant to Jim Valvano, 1980 at Iona. You can tell by the hair it was around 1980.
Look at that hairstyle. Are you kidding me? Look at that hairstyle. Now look at Big Pat right here. He had the great run after Jimmy left. Jimmy recommended him for the job, did a super job at Iona. Took him to the NCAA several times. You know, he turned down a Tennessee job, had that job before it went to Wade Houston. As you look at Indiana, down 1 at home.
Lynch 0 for 3 from the line, 0 for 3 from the floor, but he has 5 rebounds and 4 steals on the night. That cuts the lead to 12. North Carolina trying to trap, but Ward and Cassell haven't been caught in it all night.
That's where you want to do. You want to post up to the middle of the floor against that trap. Spread the court. Utilize quickness. Spread the court.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Cassell to Sura, cutting from the wing, missed the shot, but they get it back.
You know, the funny thing about it, Mike, this lead could be much, much bigger. They've had so many good opportunities that they haven't converted on.
Cassell! Holy cow, what a shot.
He just loves to play. He may take some bad shots, but he'll make some great plays like he did right there.
Cassell with a steal at the other end. He'll try it.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Sammy Sheehan, and he points to the bench. Another turnover.
You can't keep it up by not being aggressive, right? Take it to the boards, finish the play, get a second shot, get a dunk, split the defense. But we don't need to back up. If we score another 45 points, that's 90. They got 28. How many points do they have to score? They got to score like 60-some points, right? So let's make sure that we keep our aggressiveness up.
Keep up the aggressiveness. They certainly did in the first half. They lead by 17. Some bad news for Florida State. We've just been told that Charlie Ward, very, very tired at the half. He may be coming down with a flu. They don't know how long he can go in the second half. And, of course, he is such a key for this ball club. The first half stats, it was all Florida State. The Seminoles did it. Shooting percentage, free throws. Look at the rebounds. Nearly 3-2. The turnovers, Carolina forced 9, but that's not nearly enough because they committed 10. And North Carolina missed every three-point field goal they took. The other important stat, Lynch and Williams combined for 5 points. They averaged combined 30 a game.
I'll tell you another big stat. Montross getting 3 fouls early in this game. But you ready for this one? The guards and forwards. Right now, the guards and forwards for North Carolina shot 3 for 24. You're not going to get it done with that kind of shooting against a quality team like Florida State.
Phelps low to Lynch, little 10-foot baseline jumper.
They better come out with a real spurt in the first 4 or 5 minutes to get this crowd in the game.
The first field goal for George Lynch. He has been in double figures all 17 games this year for the Tar Heels.
Well, everybody's been talking in the media locker room about the fact that he has a chance to be Player of the Year in the ACC. That's how great he's been playing, but not tonight.
Edwards low to Sura, missed it, but Dobard with another rebound, and he is fouled, and it's on Montross, I believe. That would be 4.
I don't think that was on Eric. I don't think that was on Eric.
No, they'll give it to Reese.
It was on Reese on the inside. You know what's really amazing here? They played against Wake Forest and beat Wake Forest on the road, and they were out-rebounded. It was in the 50s for Wake Forest and in the low 20s for Florida State.
Oh, Wake's a tremendous rebounder.
But yet they came back and won that game. Tonight, they are dominating, I mean just dominating North Carolina on the glass.
Dobard, the senior out of Delray Beach, Florida. Make no mistake about it, this is an outstanding basketball team. This is not a fluke.
Florida State's done a sensational job in handling the traps. They really have.
Trying to do a little trapping of their own right here.
Now let's spread the court a little bit. I don't think you want to come out and open the court and give them the 12-foot shots inside.
Montross is free, clobbered by Dobard. That will be number 3 on Dobard. So both he and Edwards have 3.
Florida State against the traps have very, very effective. When you see the pluses, that's exactly where they have scored Florida State. And it also shows you where Carolina has trapped. I mean, it's been incredible the job they have done in attacking the trap and taking the ball to score.
The crowd booing because they thought the last foul should have been a shooting free throw or a shooting situation. It was not ruled by the officials, so the inbound by Carolina.
Sammy Cassell's playing head-to-head on Williams. They're playing that 1-3 with a chaser. 1-3 zone.
Offensive foul on Sura.
So you have to be very careful now if you're Pat Kennedy that your club is too loose, that they're very passive, that they feel that the game is really in hand, and you're going back to Tallahassee. Hey, Indiana hangs and gets a tough W over Minnesota. Big Ten still the best conference in basketball, despite the fact that I was jumped on by some media people in the media room earlier. They said, no way, the ACC.
That's a yearly argument.
We haven't seen that high percentage Carolina movement of the basketball, and that 1-3 chaser has really made it difficult for them to get that screen and passing game going.
Lynch with another miss. Ward with a rebound down to Cassell, who only had 7 in the first half. Had some good shots, but couldn't convert. Lynch goes for the steal. Here's Edwards.
Edwards, a good passer.
Good ball movement. Cassell with a wide open jumper. Lynch with another rebound. Ward with the steal. Telegraph the pass, and look at
what
that.
a pass.
Sura.
What a sensational play right there by Charlie Ward. I'll tell you, is there a better athlete in the country than Charlie Ward?
4 assists by Ward and 2 of the most spectacular variety.
What anticipation.
Lynch couldn't get it to fall. Montross with a foul.
He would have a big day today if he didn't get in foul trouble. They can't handle him on the interior.
48-32, 7 for Montross.
I smell a run by North Carolina. I really smell a spurt coming.
Dean Smith hopes you're right. They certainly need one.
This club is so confident. The movement of the basketball.
Edwards, fall away jumper, couldn't get it. Look at Dobard.
So quick to the basketball.
Almost picked up his 4th foul.
Good no call right out here.
Reese lost control. Edwards with the steal. Outlet to Dobard.
4-on-1. Got to make the play here.
Charlie Ward.
That's the good angle on the drive to the goal.
Boy, Dick, in the open court, they are devastating.
Those 3 perimeter people make things happen. They really create opportunities.
Phelps wide open.
Not even close. They'll give Phelps that shot all night long.
Reese got it to fall.
He's got that good baseline drive, the good first step. Given a Palatine High School, New York City, played with Adrian Autry.
Ward being guarded by Derek Phelps, who hasn't been able to bother him a whole lot tonight. Carolina trying to step up the defensive pressure. Ward wide open. 3.
They say he can't shoot the basketball, but yet if you check his numbers last year, he was 21 for 52 from 3-point range.
Montross got behind Sura. Sura had his head turned in a nice pass to Eric Montross.
Montross with the good hands, came out of high school rated #1 in the nation, was part of the class with Sean Bradley, the big guy, will be at BYU next year, 7'6".
Ward fouled before he started his drive. The foul on Phelps. That will be number 3 on the junior from Elmhurst, New York.
I was teasing Charlie Ward today at the shoot-around. I was shooting with him. I said, Charlie, earn your scholarship. If you're really a man, go in and see Bobby Bowden and say, look, coach, I'm playing offense and I'm playing defensive back on defense. And you know what else? I want to go off the baseball team.
How about track? Let's get him involved in everything.
His dad was his coach in high school basketball.
Dobard, nice move.
Holy, that's superb quickness. I mean, his stock is going up, up, and up. Jimmy V, his stock is going up, Jimmy.
And the quickness is just killing Carolina. Montrose.
Can't handle him. He can have a field day, but they can't trade them. They got to make something happen defensively.
Phelps comes out limping.
I don't know, Mike. I know it's searching, but I wonder what little things mean in terms when we talk about coaching psychology. Both guys don't start the game late for a team meeting. That could be effective.
Nah. There's a timeout. We'll be back in a minute. Michigan, and until tonight, North Carolina, you could throw a blanket over them, and you wouldn't find much of a difference. But tonight, Florida State is just chewing them up. Lynch, after the steal, puts it in. Lynch, 5 steals. He has broken the career record set by Rick Fox. 198 career steals. 55-40, and Carolina's going to need some more of that kind of defense. Cassell wide open for 3. Buried it. 57-40. Sullivan in the game, open, passed on the shot. Lynch will not pass on it and missed. 58-40, excuse me. While we have a second, we wanted to pass along our condolences to the family of Bill McGrotha. 40 years as the sports editor of the Tallahassee Democrat, former president of the College Football Writers Association. He passed away early this morning. And all the people associated with Florida State athletics and all over the Southeast will miss him very much.
They talked about him today at the shoot-around, many of the people that were here. And certainly we send our sympathies out to his family.
That last foul on Charlie Ward, only his first. Montrose.
Can do that all night long, as Lionel Richie would sing, all night long, baby. Just flip it up high from the high post down inside. He's got the great hands.
13 points. They were trying to front him with Sura, and that's not going to work.
See, Matt Rodel doesn't have the quickness to play Sammy Cassell. Had a backdoor layup right there.
Edwards back to Sura. What great ball movement.
Sura really with the great body squares. What I mean by the great body, the ability to square the body to the baseline to protect the ball.
Sura has 15. Sullivan
and Rodel really haven't been a factor at all shooting the ball.
Going to be a foul on Cassell as he hacked Williams. That's 1 on Cassell.
You know, Mike, really, we've talked about in the past how quickness has been a problem for North Carolina. Well, tonight it has been evident against this team of Florida State. The superb quickness and the perimeter players of Florida State have really dominated. And the great game plan. I think Pat Kennedy's game plan of playing the chaser and 3 to take away the passing game.
They are as well prepared tonight, Dick, for this game with their game plan as any team I've seen in recent years. It's been a marvelous job.
Just a marvelous job is right. He did a tremendous job today at practice as well, dissecting the traps and analyzing the traps, where they would come on the floor and spreading the court to utilize, again, coaching is utilizing your strengths, and that's what he has done.
Donald Williams has only 4 points tonight. He's one of the guys for Carolina that has to get points. 60-44, FSU still by 16.
And North Carolina can't generate anything with their defense against these guards. Notice how they spread. They make you play them one-on-one. And plus, Edwards can handle the ball well as a big player.
And Edwards that time, defensive pressure by Lynch made him throw it away. But the one thing that is not happening, Dick, the traps are not working for Carolina. The women's semifinals of the Australian Open coming up. Monica Seles against Gabby Sabatini. Steffi Graf against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. It all starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN. Cassell for 3.
Just a big-time scorer, very streaky scorer. He's had a number of 30-point games.
He has 13 tonight, and every time Carolina shows any flash of coming back, somebody buries one. Rodel misses a tip-off. Phelps missed. The ball is out of bounds to North Carolina.
I think North Carolina, after tonight's performance, is going to see a lot of gimmick defenses against them because their perimeter people are showing tonight that if they have a negative, the ability to knock down that wide-open jump shot.
Three-point shooting tonight. Florida State has hit 6 of 15. North Carolina is 0 for 11. As a team, they came in shooting 42% from three-point range, so it's not going to happen all that much. Here's another steal as Phelps turned it over.
They just feel they can beat them. They really do. They have that feel of confidence before the game. Like Sammy Cassell was talking about, let's tip it off right now.
Cassell again for three. Short on this one. Nearly kept alive. Robinson is in there. Williams. Montross with the offensive rebound with a long kick.
Roto's not even looking at the basket anymore.
Turnaround jumper won't go by Phelps. And Dick, it's hard to imagine you're down this far. You need scoring. You get a 15-footer, you got to take.
You got to take a look at the basket. You got to really take a look at the basket. I saw a team last night. You talk about impressive. Kentucky was so impressive with their traps, Rick Pitino's team. You talk about depth, he has that. You talk about a superstar, he has that in Jamal Mashburn. I'll tell you right now, I thought coming into this game that you would talk about North Carolina, Indiana, and Kentucky. And Carolina and Kentucky has an edge because they can go to their bench. But after watching tonight, I'm lost, Mike. I'm lost.
Don't leave out Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan certainly now with Jackson back, no doubt.
Talk about depth and talent. Lynch will get a breather here. We have 12:19 to go in this game. It is all Florida State. They're up 63 to 44. Cassell misses the jumper. Salvadori with a rebound. Carolina just seems so out of sync tonight.
There's no rhythm to their half-court game. You have not seen a typical sharp passing movement without the ball. Wide open. You got to make those.
Phelps wide open. At least you got to take him, but he missed the shot.
It was a 3-on-1.
Cassell to Robinson. He missed it. Rodel, good defense. But the offensive rebound by Edwards, they have killed him on the boards. And look at the move by Edwards. Holy cow.
He was multi-talented when he came out of high school. Mr. Versatility out of Miami Senior High School.
Edwards has a dozen.
His brother's playing really well now for Miami. Stevie Edwards, a diaper dandy.
Rodel will...
Yeah, about time. Hey, where's the standing O, baby? About time a perimeter J went down.
But that only cuts the lead to 18 in the first of 13 three-point shots that Carolina's made tonight. Ward dogged by Phelps, kicked by Montross. They'll reset the 45-second clock. We have 11:16 to go from Chapel Hill. We're number 19. Florida State leading number 3 Carolina by 18 points. We're talking about earlier.
Mike, here's Roto right now. He's not even going to look at the basket. Look at here. Look at here. They're not even playing this area of the floor. They're all packed in this area here. It's unbelievable. No respect at all for their perimeter game. I mean, they're not even looking at the basket. The wings are wide open. They were 3 for 24 in the first half from the perimeter. Three-point shooting's been a disaster. 1 for 50. Hey, Mike, give me a uniform. I've always dreamt of playing for Carolina. I want to go out there and shoot it.
It's not that bad. We haven't reached that point yet.
They're going to a 2-3 zone, and they're going to try to trap out of it. Yes, there comes the trap. Thank you.
It has been singularly unsuccessful tonight. Edwards, great pass to Dobar.
Are they prepared in the right place? They worked on that. I have to say I cheated. I watched the workout today, and they were prepared. They set up the 2-3 zone, and they said, get ready for the trap on the sideline, and that is what they did. Credit that to Professor Kennedy.
The lead goes to 20. Williams trying to slice in and banks one home. Williams now with 6.
Florida State, if they had all the horses, might be the best team in the country.
If Reed and Graham could play.
Oh, wow. Charlie Ward all year.
I mean, he's got quite a group of athletes here. Ward on the drive. He is fouled by Williams.
They have carved and really just took this team apart right from the start. And Dean Smith, the classy leader, would be the first to say it. You know, I'm just looking at his numbers here. It just shakes me when I look at him. 756 wins, 49 NCAA wins, with 14 in Symphony at ACC in 1984. 8 Final Fours. Are you kidding me? 21 20-game season.
Robinson, who has had a huge game off the bench, he now has 9 points. The lead is back to 20. And Charlie Ward picks off another one.
And could he be a great defensive player? I mean, he'd be unreal. He doesn't want a part of that. He wants to be the
Syrup for 3.
He wants to be a sprint-out quarterback.
He's done a terrific job and will certainly be one of the Heisman favorites next season.
Wide open.
Reese for 3.
Wide open. consistent.
Montross fighting for the rebound. A lot of contact, no whistle. The runner hit by Williams, who now has 8.
He's their only threat who can shoot the basketball. It's on the floor from the perimeter. That's a legitimate threat, a consistent threat.
69-51. Charlie Ward complaining about being hand-checked by Williams.
What a great look. What a great look. Flash to the post area.
Boy, have they done a great job tonight.
Just flash to the post area and look to the opposite side. Get the ball away from the trap.
Look how far the defense is packed back in there. They're going to say, take that shot the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got it all night. You know,
North Carolina has called a timeout. They've stopped the clock with 9:21 to go in the game. It's still 71-54. By 17 as they continue to dissect the North Carolina defense.
Watch right here. See, the ball's in it. The ball is right now in his hands. Up. Wow. Telestrator's breaking down, but watch Surrey now post up. Freeze it. Right there. Now he's going to look opposite. Montross rotates over. There's the bounce pass. I mean, what a great way. The key there was flashing to the post to the open seam. Charlie Ward was waiting for the trap, trying to anticipate it, rotating over. He didn't allow it to come by spreading the floor, and he got the ball to Surrey in the middle of the floor.
Full court pressure by Carolina. Down to 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. And the ball tipped out of bounds out to FSU.
We got to call a turnover on the telestrator. My toy. It broke down. Unbelievable. I'll tell you, look at this crowd. Is it wine and cheese tonight? Sammy Cassell. You talk about a guy that got headlines out here today. Last year after he played here and they won. He said this crowd is not intimidating. It's a wine and cheese crowd. Well, today they had headline galore.
Served by 3. Edwards, another offensive rebound. Tries to muscle it up and got it over Ronald.
I'll tell you, his stock is going up. Jimmy Valvano was telling me how brilliant he was against Duke. When I spoke to Jimmy the other day on the phone. At 21 points, 12 rebounds. George Lynch with the jumper.
I can guarantee you during that last timeout, Dean Smith said they're going to give us the 3. I want somebody at the head of the key. Take it every time. Here's an offensive foul drawn by Phelps. It creates the turnover.
Larry Rose with the call on Charlie Ward. Never loses his composure. You know, you might want to take him out if you're Pat Kennedy for about a minute or 2 to give him a little breather. He plays so many minutes. Now watch right there. There's the little bump, maybe a little acting job. Little Jack Nicholson.
16-point lead, Williams for 3. And this is what Carolina will try to do to get back in the game.
Well,
and Pat Kennedy is going to call a timeout. He's going to change his defense so they won't be able to shoot lights out.
I'll tell you one thing else. He's not starting the bus.
Here's the top 5. This Kansas was number 1. A few hours later, they get beaten. Indiana with a chance to move up. North Carolina had the opportunity, but they have to come back and win tonight. Kentucky and Michigan both winning this week.
Mike, we had a clear-cut number 1 last year in Duke. There was no doubt they were the best team in the country. Prior to Duke, they had a clear-cut team with UNLV. There is not a clear-cut number 1 in America today. It will rotate, but the great beauty of college basketball. Number 1, you tip it off the end of March, and you find out legitimately in New Orleans who is number 1.
Ward with a 3-pointer in and out. Carolina has hit its last 4 3-point shots after going 1 for 15.
Wide open.
Wide open.
Here they come. They're knocking down the 3, baby.
They've hit 5 straight of them.
Let's see if they can answer the call right now. Florida State, first time they've been a little bit challenged.
Williams on Cassell.
Possession big.
Dribble.
That possession big. Give it up. Give it up. There it is. It's getting interesting. It's getting exciting.
First 2 points for Phelps. They've cut the lead to 8. Florida State has cut a 21-point lead.
Roto with the spin right now. Draws the defense to him. Dumps it off. Phelps finally gets on the board, and the heels are back.
It was 65-44. Now it is 73-65.
Change a look at their trap now. Scramble defense. You still got to attack. You can't play conservative.
Sura through the hands of Charlie Ward.
spread the floor, to get their 3 perimeter people to start to really handle the rock and put their 2 big people, Edwards and Dobart, on the boxes.
This crowd was totally out of it. Now more than 21,000 right back in it.
I think Carolina likes this. They're in a man-to-man. Go to Montross. They can't handle him.
Montross lost his balance, but he's fouled by Edwards before he fell. That is 4 on Doug Edwards.
It's one of the first times that we have seen Florida State go to a man-to-man. And immediately, North Carolina went to Montross. Did he call a technical?
Has just hit Pat Kennedy.
Wow!
Technical.
Oh, what a big T right there. Whoa! Whoa! Look at Pat. His mouth is open. He can't believe it. Freeze that. Look at that mouth. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at that mouth. He can't believe it. It's going to come out. What a time for a technical.
And Williams will hit the first. He'll get another. This could be a huge possession. Potential 4 points right here.
Well, you get the ball out of bounds as well.
Potential 6 or 7 at the 3.
Incredible. Write the score down when that happened in the time.
It was 73-65 with 7:09 to go in the game. Now it's 73-67.
68?
No, scoreboard's wrong.
Scoreboard wrong up there? Scoreboard's got 68. They take it off. I'd go to Montross. They can't handle him inside. There's no way. High-low it. Get the angle. Dump it into the big fella.
Williams with a runner.
He says, no, I'm a big-time scorer.
15 points for Williams.
Okay, right now, Florida State's got to settle down, post somebody to the middle of the floor.
Forces the jumper. Dobart again. No call. Ball out of bounds to Carolina. Pat Kennedy thought there was a foul.
They can't seem to get the break right now. Pat Kennedy may need a timeout and really settle him down and get him a choice shot in their next possession.
It was a 21-point lead.
Playing man-to-man. Montross got to go inside.
Blocked by Dobart. Lynch got it back.
There's where you want to go.
He missed it. Dobart with another huge rebound.
Got the shot they wanted.
Lynch with a steal. Missed the shot. Phelps. He missed. Holy
wow.
Oh, man.
Incredible offensive rebounding, but they can't convert.
Ward guarded by Phelps.
He's not beating Phelps like he did earlier in the game. He could be fatigued.
Well, remember, we had the report. They thought he was coming down with a flu. He was very tired at the half. Nearly a steal by Rodel. Cassell got it back.
The reason they're stealing that ball on top, they're switching up on front, North Carolina.
And Cassell fouled as he went up. Rodel commits the personal. Boy, the intensity is picked up 1,000%.
You'd have told Dean Smith about 4 minutes ago that he'd be down 4 with 5 minutes to go in this game. I think he'd say you're totally wacky.
If you'd have told him before the game he'd be down 21, he'd have told you the same way. Reese will come back in. Williams gets a rest. Salvadori comes in for Carolina. And Phelps, Lynch will get a break.
If they come back and win this game, this will be one of the most incredible comebacks because they look like they were ready to be put away. I mean, totally.
It was remarkable. Cassell will go to the free throw line. He has 13 points. He's the best free throw shooter on the team.
Right now, the Sammy Cassells and the Doug Edwards have to really step it up, their seniors, to make the big play.
Cassell quiets the crowd with the first one, 74-69. 5:21 to go in the game.
I would go back to his gimmick defense and get away from the man-to-man. I would go to that 1-3 and chase him again.
He got burned by 5 straight three-pointers.
I know that. He had to come out of it for a minute, but I'd go back now.
I get your point. I see what you're saying.
Because they're getting the ball inside too easily.
Cassell drains both, 75-69. Little full court pressure by Florida State. Nearly a turnover. What a break for Phelps. The ball went right off the rim, and now Florida State steals him at the other end. Montross gets it back.
A good sloppy basketball.
It's a scrum.
Wow.
gives it to Surra, tries the no-look pass in that situation.
Not really kidding. Not really a good look right there. Let's see what they do here defensively. They're playing man-to-man.
Carolina's backcourt has 24 points in the second half after 4 in the first half.
19 turnovers for Florida State. See Tortolaba. A little slow. They got to recognize when to get the ball to Montrose.
Reese hesitates underneath. He's fouled by Dobar.
Reese very tough on the baseline. He's an excellent baseline performer. He's got the good bounce in his legs. They are much more effective in attacking man-to-man defenses. See, there's Reese working the baseline. Now he rotates over, squares his body. They do a great job of sealing and holding post position with Montrose inside.
4 on Dobard, 4 on Edwards with 4:39 to go in the game.
He's going to get Montrose out for a moment, give him a little rest, and bring him back in offensively.
Lynch has come back in the ball game.
You know, everybody thought Bob Hurley about 2 weeks ago would have been a lock for Player of the Year in the ACC. But this guy has closed the gap tremendously, George Lynch, and people are now mentioning his name as a potential Player of the Year, especially if things go on and win.
Well, you're going to have to look at a couple of Florida State players as potential Players of the Year, too.
Well, they got team balance, though, Mike. They really do. They got team balance as opposed to that one superstar.
Yeah, but look at Edwards. 18 points a game, 9 rebounds a game.
That man there, is he a star? Are you kidding me? You talk about testing time, 32 years. Consistently wins year in and year out. Top 15 in the nation.
75-70, 4:39 left. Number 19 trying to upset number 3 and take first place in the ACC.
And the crowd standing up, getting very jubilant. There's that 2-3 that they're trying to fake it. It's a disguise. It's a 2-3, and as soon as you start to dribble the ball to the wing, they'll start coming at you and trapping. That's the way you handle it. That's the way you handle it. Spread the court, put a high post man. Excellent architect, Pat Kennedy, spread the court.
Cassell in and out. Phelps the rebound.
He's a good little rebounder for a little guy. Playing soft on Phelps.
Williams dumps it off to Salvadori. Back to Reese. Now Williams again.
Cassell's got to really locate Williams. He's the shooter. He's the shooter.
Cassell hustles out on him and he misses. Ahead to Cassell, but Phelps got back, or Williams got back to take it away.
Cassell did a good job recognizing and locating Williams, knowing he's their spot-up shooter.
3:37 to go. Lynch double pump. Edwards couldn't be that aggressive.
George Lynch with the good legs gets the ball inside.
The lead has been cut to 3 from 21.
Somebody's got to go to the foul lane area. Flash to the foul lane area. It was wide open.
Ward threw it away. Phelps back the other way. And Ward fouls him, and they go down hard. That was not a dirty foul on the part of Charlie Ward. He wanted to make sure Phelps did not get him caught up in the air and came down and held him.
Now watch Charlie Ward right here. Here comes the... Oh, he left his feet. You see that? And then he comes down on him heavy. But he left his feet, went with that little fake, left something on the floor. Montrose back on the floor. The big fella loved that do. I used to have a hairstyle like that. You look at my yearbook in high school.
You still do.
1958. No, it's not as...
Just a little thinner on top.
Let's see if they go to full court trap, if he converts this.
Phelps can cut the lead to 1.
There's a shot. You look at I'm looking at the Florida State bench now. It's in shock. They can't believe looking at their bench. They are shocked. They were standing up. They were cheering. They're saying, wow.
75-74. They have sliced 20 points off the lead. Full court press.
Making the three-point shot. Was that a wake-up call? Finally knocking down 5 in a row after going like 1 for 14.
Scott Cherry into the ballgame for the first time since the opening bell. He's on Ward.
He's fresh. He'll get about 30 seconds. They'll just keep him on the court for a moment.
They don't want being double teamed.
Don't want to bring it there.
And they get a timeout to avoid the trap and the turnover. 2:56 to go in the ball game. It is a 1-point FSU lead. shot by Donald Reese. That was the biggest comeback ever. Tonight, down by 21. They've cut it to 1.
I remember that game when they came back, but the difference here is how late they were down in terms of 21 down here in the second half. That's what makes it even much more miraculous here.
Plus, you mentioned, you pointed out very correctly, they looked dead when they were down by 21.
They really looked dead because they were not shooting well. We tried to diagram and show how they were getting wide open shots. Look at this defense right now. We watched North Carolina really trying to deny. You see right here, really trying to deny, not to let him get the ball up here, up on top. They're doing a super job. Now they bring it into a trapping area. Freeze it right there. You don't want it here. They can allow the trap in that area. That's a dead spot. You don't want to get the ball in that area against the trap.
Edwards, great dish to Dobart. He's nailed underneath. The ball knocked out of bounds. No foul, but it will go to FSU. And Dobart has a blank stare on his face like, what happened?
I'll tell you, Pat Kennedy's got to feel the frustration with that technical foul, the big lead.
As it turned out, the technical did not hurt them that badly. Although it turned into 2 free throws, and that might certainly be a difference.
Yeah, every point is so vital right now.
Sura, who had not been heard from in a long time. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
They really shut down Sura.
Cassell for 3. Edwards, offensive rebound, double team. Got it! Edwards, heck of a play.
What a big offensive rebound.
Edwards has 16.
Shot selection at the end of the game can be big. That was a nightmare for Florida State in overtime against Indiana in the NIT. But they didn't have the presence of Charlie Ward.
Montrosta trying to double him down low.
Remember, they're undefeated with Ward at that point guard, 5 and 6. Look how wide open. Look how soft, wide open.
Lynch to Montross. Jump hook is good. The lead cut to 1 again. We're under 2 minutes.
It's impossible to stop him inside. He's got too good of a touch, and he's too strong around the basket.
Sura trying to bring it up against Roeder.
He's really very physical. Now he's going into a trap area. And there's the rotation.
There's the
yes, sir. Uh-oh. Hello. Good night. The Heels are up by
1. 1.5 minutes to go. Carolina's lead. The first time since they were ahead 5-2.
Pat Kennedy's got to be absolutely beside himself. He worked all afternoon on that trap and how they rotate from the wing.
Cassell misses the 3. Lynch with a rebound. 10 rebounds for George Lynch.
Now you spread the court. You try to get dribble penetration, and you dump it to Montross down on the box. There's the spreading of the court.
This is really incredible, Dick.
Oh, it's absolutely Bananas-ville, but nothing.
If you joined us late, 65-44 Florida State led. Since then, it has been all Carolina.
Look at the hands on the knees. Could be a little tired. Now he's finally coming up, playing a little D, Sammy.
14 on the shot clock. Williams had it knocked away, but the foul will be on Cassell on the drive.
And a little one-on-one. They were innovators of that spread with Phil Ford, their assistant coach. He was brilliant. Pat Kennedy knows this would be a long, long ride home to Tallahassee if they were to lose this.
Might take 2 days. Coming up next, Sports Center. Keith Olbermann and Gary Miller standing by. Indiana, close shave against Minnesota. Of course, all the news on the Super Bowl and the tragedy in Iowa a week later. Williams, this is the guy they want at the free throw line. He's an 80% shooter. And Dean Smith never lost his cool, never does.
He's poised. He's been there so many times.
Williams hits another one. He could give them a 3-point lead with 37 seconds left.
She likes it. Donald Williams, their scorer off the bench. He's one of the instant offense guys in America off the bench, a super sub.
All right, the lead is 3. Williams has hit all 6 free throws.
Look at Dean right now. Lead is 3. Sura's the guy that's been quiet. They've really done a great job keeping the ball out of his hands. He's playing them. They're switching.
Edwards will try the 3.
He's not really a long-range shooter.
fouled by Sura with 11 seconds to go, and I am not believing this.
I can't believe it. I flat out can't believe it. They are on cloud 9 here. The heel fans know they smell number 1. Look at dejection. Look at dejection right here. About 7-8 minutes ago, they were absolutely on cloud 9, blowing away the heels by 21.
Simply stunned are the Seminoles and their fans.
In 14 years I've been working on ESPN, this is by far the biggest turnaround I have ever seen in a big quality game where a team was flat out dominating another and then simply just absolutely blew it.
Donald Williams with 18 points, 16 in the second half. That's a 4-point lead with 11 seconds to go, so FSU will need at least 2 possessions.
Mike, tell me, I can't believe what I'm looking at.
This has been remarkable.
I was getting ready for all my filler material. Are you kidding me?
Sura for 3.
Nothing like college basketball, the wacky world of college basketball. Pageantry, excitement, the unknown, the mystery. Long Beach State and Kansas, what a week it has been.
Florida State came in here winning 5 straight games with Charlie Ward at the point. Oh, leave a loser.
Look at them celebrating. They get a W, Celebration City here in Chapel Hill.
North Carolina down by 21 has come back to beat Florida State 82-77. An unbelievable game. For Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody.
ESPN's NCAA basketball has been brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. By Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by Pioneer Home Theater, you don't just watch it.
To go, but at any of the 15 Erickson's More For stores.
Allegory. One of my favorite parts of Sports Interview is the interview, getting the personalities to open up about themselves. You'll see that there's more to these athletes than RBIs and touchdowns.
I told it to the people I needed to tell it to. I don't have to tell it to you. It's not going to get me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm probably one of the only athletes in LA that says he doesn't want to go join the golf tour and doesn't want to be an actor.
Football put me here, but football will get me out.
So look for us each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
Well, can you tell that we're in Western New York and the Super Bowl has started? 92-72, UMass is inside of 3 minutes away from a victory. Travel is arranged through US Air with more than 2,700 flights a day to over 160 cities, including London, Frankfurt, and Paris. Everything we do, US Air begins with you. Many Bills fans have taken the Big Bird to Los Angeles over the past several days to check out the Super Bowl, Buffalo and Dallas. Here on the court in Olean, it's been all UMass. The Minutemen led it by 22 at the end of the first half. They lead it by 20 right now. Jerome Malloy called on a travel. John Calipari continues his substitution pattern, which is you make one mistake and you're on the bench.
And Jerome is not, he's been a whipping boy today. Hasn't played the defense like John Calipari would like him to play, and right there, the unforced turnover.
So Mike Williams back out. Harry Moore is on the court for St. Bonaventure. He is 2 points away from equaling his career high. He has 28 points here in the game. Nee Nelson Richards have foul shots coming up. He's shooting at 3, and so he'll have 3 shots.
I wouldn't call that an aggressive play by Mike Williams. Again, the shot's wide open out there to go out and foul. Doesn't make a lot of sense, and I'm sure Cal Perry will tell him about that. This is where everyone can pad their averages, as Nee Nelson Richards gets his average of the season, 13 points.
Knocks down all three. He has 15 in the game. Down low, this is Lou Rowe, triple team. RB sends it out to Kellogg. Shot clock at 12. With the steal, it's Nee Nelson Richards. Mike Williams taking it right back. Richards swiping over, and Kellogg commits the foul.
That'll do it for Nee Nelson Richards. That was his 5th foul.
Nee Nelson Richards
He had 15 this afternoon.
will foul out with 1 minute and 43 seconds to play. He'll finish the game with 15 points. Jeff Quackenbush will come on.
What's Kellogg have? 4 points. His average is 4 points. And he's has 4 points, and he's just done a real nice job this afternoon running the show for John Calipari, playing the defense, putting all the players in the proper positions.
His assist to turnover ratio is 2-to-1, just what a coach would want. He has done a good job running the show here today. Vanderpool can't hold it. Mass will take it back. Derek Kellogg will head to the bench.
Number 23, Rigoberto Nunez, comes in for UMass.
Off the press, Harry Moore has a steal, and 2 more. Harry Moore ties his career high with 30 points, and he'll step up to the line with a chance to establish a new career mark.
Is Lou Rowe history? Harry Moore taking Lou Rowe to the hole. Lou Rowe trying to get the position, but can't get there quick enough as Harry Moore gets a career high 30 points.
Foul was against Lou Rowe. Big Lou is finished for the afternoon. Rowe finishes up with 21 points. There it is. A new career high for Harry Moore with 31 points. He'd been averaging just 11 points in the last 3 games. So no doubt he's a happy Bonnie out there, if you can be happy when you're getting beat up 93-78. Quackenbush. That's a 3-point attempt. They'll call it travel on Mike Williams. Tried the old patented Ed Stefanski move of holding the ball at his hip in flight.
Well, what I would have done is windmilled it in. You ever see Dr. J, that kind of move?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. As I get older, I got much better.
Vanderpool along the baseline. Moore Moore couldn't get the slam back. Here's,
Something like Harry just did.
yeah, here's Barbee and Chris Robinson. Harry with another chance. Tries to get it to Quackenbush. Just 24 seconds remain.
But Harry Moore right there, he could have shot the ball, but he's an unselfish player trying to get it to a better shot for one of his teammates.
(93-78). UMass will advance its record to 13-4 and 5-1 in the league. Harry Moore. Whistle blows as time expires, and see if they're going to charge the foul. They are going to literally shoot the shots here with no time remaining in the game.
Harry Moore already has 31 points.
It would seem only fitting, after having 33 fouls called in the first half, to end the game with foul shots. Not that it was poorly officiated, just that they kept hitting each other.
Well, they're trying to play man-to-man defense and contesting every pass and every shot.
Harry Moore misses a pair, and the ball game is officially over. 93-78 is our final score. UMass, a winner over St. Bonaventure.
Our next home game will be Saturday, February 13th. That will be part.
Academics, athletics, achievement, the Atlantic 10 Conference.
Eric's
Rugged, powerful, and available now at Lupien Isuzu Olds and GMC Truck. 150 1992 standard bed Isuzu pickups. The inventory has arrived and is available now for a special one-time purchase, priced from $64.95 without any additional charges. Each comes equipped with a standard 5-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel anti-lock brakes, tinted glass, cloth interior, wing windows, and radial tires. Come check out these sporty, durable pickups at Jim Lupien, I-394 and Louisiana Avenue. If this is what's happening to your clubs, imagine what winter's doing to your game. Get back in the swing by shaking off the cobwebs, working out the kinks, or just keeping your game sharp. Braemar Golf Dome in Edina. When it's snowing buckets outside, get back with a few buckets of your own inside. Get ready for that golf vacation, stay sharp, or just have a little fun. Braemar Golf Dome in Edina.
Score once again this afternoon, it's UMass 93 and St. Bonaventure 78. The UMass Minutemen continue to hold on to first place in the Atlantic 10. They are now 5-1 in league play, 13-4 overall. Harry Moore leads the way with 31 points in the game, but UMass comes out with the victory. For Ed Stefanski, Tony Caridi saying so long, everybody.
It's time for MSC.
Your getting bored with your hair, you should try Topsy Tail, the incredible hair fashion tool that creates exciting new hairstyles in seconds. It's so easy. If you can make a ponytail, you can Topsy Tail. Simply place the Topsy Tail in the center of the ponytail, thread hair through the loop, and pull for a beautiful new look. And with the same basic steps, you can create dozens of dazzling styles for every occasion in no time. It's all right here in the Glamour Guide. Topsy Tail works on any hair type. Kids love Topsy Tail too. School time, playtime, anytime. It's even great for shoulder length hair. Now for less than the cost of one visit to the hair salon, you can order Topsy Tail, complete with Glamour Guide for just $12.95. Order now and we'll also send you secrets to French braiding. Create a whole new look and a whole new you. Order Topsy Tail today.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-782-1888. Sorry, no CODs. That's 1-800-782-1888. Or send $12.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. Credit card users call now 1-800-782-1888.
During the Roman era, 28 was considered old.
In the 1800s, 60 was over the hill.
You got it! You gotta taste it all! The taste of Diet Coke. You gotta taste it all! Yeah, the taste of Diet Coke.
Gopher hoops is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire.
Coach, I don't know if you even believe in the law of averages, but North Carolina, as a fact, had beaten Wake Forest 11 times in a row and 23 out of the last 24.
Hey, we played so well against Wake the last 2 years since Coach Odom came, and I saw him before the game and said, we've always played well against you. He said, I know that. And they were certainly ready for this one and deserved to win. Childress just made those threes. I thought we did a good job on Rogers early, and Rodney's just a great player. But Childress is too, and I hope we can learn from this. We're a little embarrassed that we didn't do better. And I hope we can use this to bounce back and play better this week and then against Wake Forest when we see them the next time.
Joel Coliseum, Winston-Salem, North Carolina on the road against a very good Wake Forest team, Coach.
Well, of course, it wasn't going to be easy. We knew that. Brian Reese making a nice move to start against their zone. Brian's a very good penetrator. He made 2 out of 3 three-pointers. And it's maybe hard. In the first half, we do some nice things. The unforced turnovers are bad. Brian Reese gets a nice screen for Donald Williams, his first three-pointer there. And Pat Sullivan finds an open Kevin Salvadori, and he's smart. Again, against the zone, we're getting inside for the layups. That's not easy to do. Now they're still in that. And what a great pass from Brian to Derek Phelps. The 10, many of which were unforced the first half, the turnovers really hurt. Good screen for Donald Williams, assist Derek Phelps. George Lynch, good outlet pass. I'm sure you can find more of these the first half than you could the second. What a good drive by Derek Phelps. Rodney Rogers misses, and we get an easy basket there on the break.
19-16 Carolina at that point.
Look at the help. Brian Reese taking the charge. Great call. You can't just put your head down and go. A lot of people wouldn't stand in there, but Brian did. Another assist, Derek Phelps to Brian Reese.
Coach, this is with the halftime clock running down.
They could have fouled. They didn't want to get a 3, and what a great shot. we should have gotten something a little better than that, but we're only down 3 at half.
33-30 at halftime.
And I felt pretty good at that time. I thought, you know, they're away from home. They'd played pretty well. And we just threw the ball away too much, trying to get it inside. And then here comes Childress. What a great job he did. He hit 6 of these. Look at that. Oh, I'm glad Brian stood in there to draw that.
Those weren't easy shots, Coach.
No. That's he got it in. And we're still in the game at this point. We got to do some things. Again, Wake Forest doing so many good things. Pat Sullivan starts our comeback, I thought. Didn't work out quite that way. George Lynch, another 3 from the top of the key. But still, that wasn't enough. They were doing a better job controlling the ball. It's hard to do that. Here's another 3.
That got it down to 15, Coach.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time.
Sure.
But they did a better job with the ball than Florida State did. Great defense by Pat Sullivan not to foul. And of course, we gambled so much here. We about have to. This is late. Great, excellent pass. Pat Sullivan and George Lynch. But there are not a lot of highlights in this second half.
88-62, Coach. Wake Forest gets the win. North Carolina basketball highlights brought to you by Gatorade. And, Coach, look, of course, this is the first time North Carolina's ever lost in this building, but they went absolutely crazy after
you know, it has been a while, so you have to understand that. And they're a very good basketball team.
Well, anybody who knows anything about college basketball knows that it is not an undefeated sport. North Carolina's record, 17-2 overall, 6-1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we're going to come back and meet Tar Heel freshman Ed Geth after this from First Union.
The stars will come out tonight. It can be cloudy. It can be raining. It can be snowing. But the stars will come out tonight. And they will shine.
You know, Carolina Blue has been covering North Carolina basketball for 13 years and doing it better than any publication in America. It covers every game that North Carolina plays, no matter where they go. And if you like North Carolina basketball, you're going to love Carolina Blue. It's 56 pages every week, comes out 40 weeks a year, and costs only $37 for a year's subscription. Those of you with credit cards can order right now by dialing 1-800-637-BLUE.
Grandpa's Popular Science. He loved those.
Hey, Dad, look at this.
There's still film in here.
What are you going to do with it?
The more important the photo, the more reason to trust it to Eckerd.
It's Grandpa and some kid with a mop.
It wasn't a mop. It was a fiery horse with the speed of light. Hi-ho, Silver, away!
Still looks like a mop to me.
Let me show you my favorite winter movie.
S&K's final winter clearance sale is on. Our entire stock of casual and washable wool blend slacks just $19.97 a pair. Hundreds of suits are on sale from $99.97. All winter outerwear at up to 40% off S&K's regular low price. Botany 500 raincoats just $79.97. And sweaters and sport shirts start at just $15.97 during S&K's final winter clearance sale.
Is that exciting or what?
Coach, one of your interesting players, a freshman, young man from Virginia, Ed Geth, on your team this year.
You know, Ed has really improved already. He was out of shape when he got here, but he really has quickness and size, and we're happy he's here. It's interesting enough, math teacher told me that he was in the upper 3% of all the Math 10 classes of freshmen. He just is an excellent student. He learns quickly on the basketball court. He has quick feet and comes from a very nice family. I think you'll be anxious to get to know him a little better. He's just a remarkable young man that we think will help us a lot these next few years.
Our Mike Small talk to Ed Geth, brought to you today by Eckerd.
Carolina freshman basketball player Ed Geth, called Big Ed by his friends, has improved a lot since he came to Carolina in August. Geth never played organized basketball in high school, never even really had an interest in it until his Granby High School coach Jim Harvey asked him to come out for the team. Geth was in a growth spurt, and he admits the game wasn't easy for him, but his coach stuck with him and they worked hard together.
He sat me down, and he just take basketballs, just throw them, drill them at me. Just to catch the ball, learn how to catch the ball. And he threw them everywhere, and I had to catch them. Sometimes they hit me on my shoulder, hit me on my face, but I still try and catch them. Then when he got tired, he'd go get the quarterback from the football team who had a strong arm, and he launched balls at me. So it was a drill that really helped me develop good hands.
Geth improved, and while he wasn't highly recruited, he did get some scholarship offers. Geth found when he got to Carolina that college basketball isn't easy, and it's nothing like the high school game. He says he was out of shape when he checked in for his freshman year. Again, he went to work. He's lost 20 pounds, increased his stamina, his basketball is better, and his confidence is growing.
Coach Smith takes a chart, and it's funny because at the beginning of the year, I was leading in times we had to run. Like, I'd make the most mistakes, and so I made my team run. But now, at the last grading period, I didn't even hear my name called, which was pretty good for me. It shows that I'm making a lot less mistakes.
Geth is an excellent rebounder. He likes that part of the game, and he has a knack for being around the ball.
It's a desire for the ball. I guess that's a strength that I built up in high school of always wanting to touch the ball. Maybe I like how the ball feels. I like the look of it, but I always got to go after it.
Ed Geth, a friendly young man, plans to double major in speech communication and computer science. He likes to read and write poetry, and here's one of his poems.
Up in the sky there is a place where there is no sorrow but saving grace. Look at the birds and see how they soar. Escape from the chaos, let your mind explore. Go to a place where no noise is nearby. Take a breath of fresh air and look at the sky. A lot of poems display a meaning, and a lot of them just go into deep thought, and I like the way it just covers. That's a different way of looking at life through poetry.
Well, Coach, as you said, Ed Geth's certainly an interesting young man, and you had another one a few years ago by the name of Eric Kenny.
Hey, I'm glad you caught up with Eric. Of course, his intramural team up there with Cliff Morris won the medical school, well, actually in Richmond, the Recreation League. But Eric is really outstanding doctor, was an outstanding student here, a walk-on who helped us. And when James Worthy got hurt against Duke, Banks, 81 year, next thing I know, he's in there in the last 5 minutes. So I know you'll remember that very well.
Get the chance to visit with Eric, and it's brought to you by the Red Roof Inn.
Eric Kenny walked on to Carolina's basketball team, earned a scholarship, and went on to UNC's medical school. He's practicing medicine in Lynchburg, Virginia, specializing in rheumatology. Kenny says he applies some of the same concepts he learned as a basketball player to his medical practice.
The team approach that you take in basketball, the things you learn from being a part of a team is also very important in medicine, because the approach to patient care is often a team approach and cooperative approach, and those type of things. I think that would be a real good example along those lines.
Eric Kenny, quite a competitor when he played for North Carolina's basketball team. Well, the Tar Heels have two big Atlantic Coast Conference games coming up this week. At Duke on Wednesday night, NC State at the Smith Center on Saturday afternoon. Coach Smith back to talk about it and more after this from First Union.
Make this the winter you learn to ski better with tips and techniques from ski's top teaching pros. Found in this all-new Ski Better Now video, yours free. Call this toll-free number today, and Ski Magazine will send you this video free with your paid subscription of only $11.94. Enjoy a full season of Ski Magazine, America's top-rated magazine for skiers. Beginner or expert, reach new levels of ability. Call today to get Ski Magazine, plus your free video, and Ski Better.
In the fight against high grocery prices, Food Lion is always in your corner. No food item in any class can lay a glove on Food Lion. In every single category, on every single day, there's no competition. The winner is Food Lion, the champion price fighter.
Yo.
Gopher hoops is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it
Watch
burns,
Gopher basketball
burns,
all
burns.
season long on MSC.
Coach, another real busy week at Duke on Wednesday, at home against NC State on Saturday.
Well, we're still in the Big Four, but certainly Duke has, I think, another great basketball team. Against Maryland yesterday, played well, and Grant Hill and Bobby Hurley are preseason All-American and playing like it. And actually, you know, the Hills have just been on the national team. Both of them have been, and I think Cherokee Parks is the difference. He's blocking shots, and I think they're a little better defensively, and I hope we're better defensively than we were a year ago, but we're playing at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's never easy there.
Right. Well, Coach, it's going to be a busy week, so good luck against Duke and then against State on Saturday.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for watching. Hope to see you here next week on The Dean Smith Show.
The Dean Smith Show has been brought to you by First Union National Bank, Food Lion, S&K Famous Brand Menswear, Granville Towers, Goodies, Gatorade, Eckerd, Red Roof Inns, Carolina Blue Newspaper, and also by Slug
Sports Center at 6:30 Eastern. Then, all of a sudden, it's Big Wednesday. North Carolina against Duke, the top two scoring and shooting teams in the ACC going head-to-head on Tobacco Road. Although the Tar Heels come to Cameron carrying the league lead, they haven't won the ACC regular season title since 1988. That's the longest drought since Dean Smith was in his first 5 seasons at Chapel Hill. This current group doesn't have any Jordans or Worthies or even Billy Cunninghams, but as much as any other, it embodies Dean's design. Jimmy Roberts examines the Smith system.
So what that Carolina has been to 18 consecutive NCAA tournaments, to 13 straight Sweet 16s. Big deal that it has more players in the NBA than any other school. Lately, they've had some problems with the neighbors. Imagine being second fiddle in a state that bears your own name.
I think it'd be a lot easier if it were Clemson. I don't think there would be the concern, but 8 miles away makes a difference.
It seems that no matter how well Carolina has done over the last few years, Duke has been just a little bit better. The last time the Tar Heels were ranked #1 in the nation, 1987. Talk about a loss of respect. Not a single preseason publication had them ranked in the top spot this year. One even had them ranked as low as number 11. Last weekend's trip to Winston-Salem probably cost Carolina this week's top ranking. But the demoralizing loss to Wake Forest aside, Tar Heel temperatures have been on the rise this season for a team that generally seems to work Dean Smith's system to perfection.
Actually, the word system, I think, got involved because people recruiting against us, no matter who you are, you're going to do this, this, and this. That's what I call a system. We have a philosophy that we want to play together, play the game, you know, we're an unselfish team.
In fact, only 4 times in the last 22 years has a Carolina player averaged more than 20 points a game. Even Michael Jordan only accomplished the feat once in his 3 years. Brian Reese is typical. A high school scoring machine in New York, he averages in the neighborhood of only 10 points for the Heels.
Well, that's just because, you know, I do what I have to do for the team. You know, I mean, when I go back and play in the tournaments in the city, I mean, I easy 25 or 30 points a game.
I really don't like to see get one guy solo all the time. I tell him I don't mind if you score, but then you find 4 guys that like to play with you.
Smith refers to the offense as a freelance passing game. But the trapping defense has become the hallmark of Carolina's team ethic, an ethic which is drummed in at every possible turn.
If you mess up, the whole team runs.
any kind of technical foul, the team runs.
The team concept apparently extends beyond just 4 years at Carolina. Each summer, former Heels return for pickup games, which are an education in themselves. See if you can figure out who was teaching this day.
I was on defense and a player threw the ball up, and I just knew that I had the rebound, and all of a sudden some person comes from nowhere like a bird and just takes it out of my hand and dunks it on me and kind of hangs on the rim and, you know, sticks his tongue out.
School is now in session with Professor Jordan, but consider it just another lesson in philosophy. Despite some missteps, the learning seems so much easier these days now that the neighbors are no longer at the head of the class. Reporting from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, I'm Jimmy Roberts, ESPN.
But right now, Dean is not diddly, but he will be soon. Smith heads into our ESPN game at Duke just 2 wins shy of Ed Diddle's 759 career wins. That's third in the all-time list. Another 8 wins after that will tie him with the late, great Hank Iba for second all-time. But while Smith's in his 31st year, Iba coached for 41, Diddle for 42. Tom, if he decides to hang around until 1998, that's the pace in which he would break Rupp's all-time record.
Unbelievable. Well, coming up, we'll update the college and NBA scoreboards.
And right away after that, St. John's is at the top of the Big East, but we'll examine the conference as a whole. How does this once all-powerful group stack up against some of the nation's elite groupings?